Here we are a month before the presidential election. As I said yesterday, the polls are showing the president is down 14 points. You can't even believe polls, but the problem is that things seem to be going from bad to worse. I don't know where the advice is coming from that the president's getting, but it's not good advice. Let's hope that it's not Roger Stone who has his ear. That little stunt the other day in terms of getting into a car and driving around Walter Reed Hospital sounds a lot like Roger Stone. But that being said, and of course, as I've put forth before, I do support the president. I personally will vote for him. I don't say who I can vote for as the head of a public interest group. The alternative of Joe Biden and Kamala Harris is frightening. But the alternative in terms of the way the country is going is even more frightening. Just this morning, because I do turn on the news for a little bit of a while before I do this podcast, I see Daniel Cameron, the Attorney General of Kentucky, on TV. He's under attack over the Breonna Taylor situation, the fact that only one police officer was indicted. He's talking about this vigilante, Ben Crump, who can barely speak. I don't know how the guy passed the Florida bar. I could only guess that perhaps someone took the exam for him. I don't know. But he can't even put a sentence together. This is somebody who wrote a book. I'm just paraphrasing the book. A genocide against colored people, okay? White genocide against colored people, who condemned George Zimmerman, who I previously represented, for murder when he was acquitted. This guy is the epitome of what's going on today with regard to race relations in this country. There are no race relations at all. But it also tells you, because Daniel Cameron is black, he's obviously a conservative, he's very articulate, is that the conservative black people in this country have more courage than the whites. The whites are rolling over, as I've said before. They're going with these radical leftists. Radical whites on the left are using radical blacks as a pawn to try to take this country over, to do damage, to commit violence, to loot, to burn, to maim, to even kill. It's a terrible thing. We are in a war. And the president, while he's ill, and we wish him well, and we hope that he gets back to full speed, I don't think he's probably as well as he's portraying right now. Just simply can't be that quickly. The president needs to take action. It's not enough, as I've said, to say to the American people, I'm waiting for mayors and governors to call me in to take charge. He is the president of the United States. There's more violence each day. There's more destruction each day. If you couple that with what's going on with COVID-19 and these shutdowns by governors and mayors, such as de Blasio, who's still shutting down parts of New York City, for instance, the country is being destroyed. If the president wants to win, and now again, the polls are probably somewhat accurate this time. We don't have a Hillary Clinton. I mean, she was widely hated. Biden, is a moron. He was caught plagiarizing 3 times. He's brain dead. But he's not someone who is as hateable, if you don't think about it, as Hillary Clinton. He has a good chance of winning because the American people don't usually vote for somebody. They vote against somebody. And if you're going to be candid, over the last 4 years, the president's done many good things, but the way he has behaved, the way he has comported himself with tweets and other things has turned a lot of people off. You have to think about it to realize that he is the best thing that we've got at this point in time to become president yet again. But the American people need to rise up. They need to tell him that he needs to be stronger. It's not enough just to talk. Tweets are not going to do it. Send in the National Guard, nationalize the police under the Insurrection Act, take care of this thing. And my God, what are you doing with regard to the communist Chinese? Are you afraid of them? What's the story there? They've nearly killed you and several people around you. Half the Republican Party, I'm just exaggerating a bit, now has COVID-19. And you don't do anything with regard to the Chinese? You let this thing go on? They need to be held accountable. The Chinese people themselves, the Chinese Americans, they don't want you to sit there doing nothing. About 30% of the people that signed up for our class action are Chinese Americans or Asian Americans. They're patriotic people. They're not sitting around doing nothing. The dissidents in China are not sitting around doing nothing. You're sitting around doing nothing. And I say this lovingly, President, because you have to wake up. And I hope that you'll at least take the time to read my book, It Takes a Revolution, Forget the Scandal Industry. Stop pulling the wool over the American people. Your judges are not that great. You appointed judges that were recommended to you by the Federalist Society, basically a Republican establishment lobbying group. My experience so far in about 8 of them is that they have no courage. Some of them lack integrity. They're almost as bad as the Clinton and Obama judges. You got to get down at ground level and pay attention to what's going on, because it's not what you say it is. Anyway, that's my message for today. Go out and read my book. It Takes a Revolution. Pre-order it at Amazon.com, at BarnesandNoble.com, at Books A Million, at Borders.com. Go far and wide. Read it, because the American people need to have the truth. You're not getting it on Fox News. You pick people for judicial commissions and for other things in the White House based on who you see on Fox News. My God, are you going to pick Chris Wallace for a job in the administration? It's not a reputable organization anymore, Fox News. It never was, but at least ideologically it was pure. Now it's turning left. But you need to talk to the American people. You need to tell them what's going on. You need to take action, because if you don't, you're going to be relegated to being an ex-president on November 3rd, 2020. That's my message for today. Join Freedom Watch's Justice League. We are your Justice Department. You have no Justice Department when it comes to political crime and those kinds of things, and bringing back the rule of law and respect for the Constitution. All you have is a blowhard, Bill Barr. That's all he is. And I'm tired of words. I want action, and you do too. So go out and read my book, see how we can wage a peaceful and legal revolution. It Takes a Revolution, Forget the Scandal Industry. Purchase a pre-ordered copy. Is coming out in a few weeks, but you can get your copy now. Make sure that it's available. And I'll be back tomorrow with another edition of Special Prosecutor with Larry Klayman. Until then, God bless you. God bless your family. Stay safe. We, the American people, must rise up with the grace of God. Thank you for listening to me.